So Ray and I are now joined by Lawrie Lowe, and Lawrie has a pretty special white Western Star, and the name alone makes one very interested in what it's all about. Lawrie, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Mate, nice to meet you.
You too.
This is, as I said to Ray, one of a kind. It almost is, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe there's another one up in Toowoomba, another white Western Star, but as far as I can see in the pictures, it's just got the same bonnet as a 4000 on it, so a bit shorter bonnet, but with a similar grille to this. So as far as I know, this is the only one I've seen in the flesh anyway in Australia.
So what makes this truck special?
Well, just the fact that it's only one of its kind running around on the roads in Australia. It was a one-owner truck in California.
Right.
Spent its working life there, although it has ran up into Alaska at some stage, and restored it back in its original colour scheme. Most of the interior and everything's still original, but this truck's all aluminium chassis and very light tear weight. And
how long have you owned it, mate?
I've owned it since Christmas 09. Did a restoration through the first part of 2010 when I should have been sleeping. Come home from work on this thing all night and go back to work again the next day, and 7 months later had it ran it up to Alice Springs 2010 for its maiden voyage. So done about 26,000 k's in it since. And
yeah, you're on a bit of a journey at the moment. I think I saw on Facebook the other day you're doing a 3,000 k round trip.
Yeah, might be a little bit less, but yeah, ran down from the Hunter Valley to here.
Yep.
Make my way back up to Sydney to run down to Yass for hauling the Hume next weekend, and so by the time I get back home, I'm 1,000 k's from home here at the moment, or very close to it.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of thousand just to come here and back, and then I'm doing the Sydney to Yass and back as well. So run a few k's up.
Good one. Ray, you might like to pop in here, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Just to give us a bit more. We were talking before off camera about the history of Kenworth and where this fits into it. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go back to the start of White.
Okay. So White had a factory in Cleveland, Ohio, which is northeast up near the Great Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, White then also wanted to get into the Western market of America, where Kenworth and Freightliner were being built. So White developed a White 4000, modified it subtly, and changed the headlight mounts and the grille. Maybe the Western Star bonnet or the Star bonnet. The bonnet was extended a little bit more, and nicknamed it the Westerner, hence White Western Star. That's how it all happened. And then from there on, the Western Star trucks kept on going. And then later on in life, White dropped the connection with the Western Star formed with I can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Diamond Rio.
Peabody. I think it was Peabody.
Yes, yeah.
My understanding
Diamond Rio was part of the
that was
White.
separate again, but that was White anyway.
Yeah.
That's sort of two separate companies too,
Yeah.
because Diamond and Rio were two separate companies, and White Motor Corporation
Formed them
swallowed
together.
both of them up, and then eventually lumped them in together. But
Diamond Rio.
with just a bit more on the West Coast style of truck, I suppose. My understanding is most of the trucks we got out here were the East Coast
That's
trucks,
correct.
which were shorter bonnet, shorter wheelbase, steel chassis, spider wheels, and in the eastern states, cities were closer together, shorter running, and they just had the shorter trucks over there. Whereas over on the West Coast, wide open spaces, so traditionally they ran the aluminium chassis,
Lightweight, carry more
aluminium wheels, long bonnets, long wheelbase. So yeah, in 1967 was when they built the plant in British Columbia, to build these Western Stars. So this is a 73, so the company going for about 6 years when this was built. So this is in its 50th year this year. Next month it turns 50 since it left the factory.
Pretty good nick for 50 years old.
Yeah,
not without a bit of work, eh, Ray?
That's right.
It's an interesting and, well, it's a fascinating history of not only the truck but the company. Yeah, look, as most businesses are one way or another, aren't
what
they,
I was
Ray?
going to say, so when White sold out to Volvo in North America, this plant in Canada obviously wasn't part of the deal, so it just lay there dormant until Terry Peabody and I think there might have been a couple of others went over and bought the plant. So where this was built, that was never part of the sale to Volvo when Volvo acquired the rest of White Motor Company's products.
Right.
So all they did then was they left the White badge off here. If you have a look at these other Western Stars that got the same badge, look at the end of the W on the second one down there, you'll see the notch cut in the W where it should fit over the White badge. Yeah, basically they just left that off and called it the Western Star. And
They had a few of these left over and waste not, want not. We'll just tack the end.
As far
end
as
off.
I understand, the plant was just sitting there dormant for a couple of years or so before it kicked off again and started churning out just Western Stars,
Yeah.
which were nothing to do with the former White Motor Company, really. This is sort of the real McCoy. This is a White, whereas these are Western Stars.
Yeah. So did these White Western Stars, where did they make their name? Was it in the logging industry? As Western Star, when I was young, Western Star was all about logging.
As far as I know. This particular truck, it's got a sticker on the inside of the glove box lid saying partially completed vehicle built by White Motor Company in Canada, and completed vehicle built by 8 Point Trailer Supplies in America. Now, my interpretation of that is that perhaps the Americans might have had a problem with a complete truck coming in from Canada, so I'm not sure what component or percentage of it was built in America, but I know that or some not so long ago that 8 Point Trailer Supplies was still running anyway, and they're a suspension agent for various suspensions and things, and I think maybe they might have put the back end in it, and then it's a completed truck.
Something to give it a bit of
then they can sell it in
local flavour for
content.
the States. Yeah.
The main thing that makes this a little bit different to the White trucks that we had come new here is with this particular truck, the firewall comes down rather flat, and most of the engine is forward of that, whereas on our 4000s and things here, the engine come back in the cab a bit.
Yeah.
But this truck's got an integrated Thermo King air conditioner heater unit that would have been original factory fitment in this truck, and so it's sitting.
And that'd be a rarity in its day,
I would think
wouldn't it?
so, yeah. So she would have been a pretty flash truck in '73, even by American standards, I would think. This interior is all original except for I've changed the seats and put the sport steering wheel on it after I power steered it. The truck wasn't originally power steered, but other than that, the rest of the truck is pretty much original as it would have been in the day.
It's spectacular, mate. Mate, she's a lovely old truck, and next time I get hold of you, we're going to talk about this Kenworth you got.
Yep.
But it's probably it for now. We don't want to confuse the two. Thank you for your time, mate. It's great to meet you.
Thank you.
And
You too.
we'll look forward to catching you again.
Oh, that'd be great.
Good on you, Lawrie.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Jeremy.
mate.
Talk to you soon.